Hi everyone, it's Tante Heidi. I sure hope that you're doing well today. Thank you for spending the time together with me. I'm really looking forward to our devotional today. But before we start, I've got a couple of jokes for you. What kind of dinosaur is always scared? A nervous Rex. And why did the banana put on sunscreen? Because it didn't want to peel. I have a few friends that probably should have put on sunscreen this week. And the last joke is, why did the hamburger lose the race? Because it could never catch up. I hope those brought a smile to your face. I sure think they're hilarious. We're starting today with the book of Philippians and chatting about the Apostle Paul. This will be the last time we talk about this, as it's the end of this series. The verse that we're looking at today is found in chapter 3. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Is there a word in there that kind of jumped out at you? I'll read it one more time. I press on towards the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Now, I'm not sure about you, but the first time I read that verse, I heard the word prize. I'm a little bit competitive, so maybe that's why. But I want to focus a little bit more on the words leading up to that word. It says, I press on towards the goal to win the prize. The word press on. Now, when you hear that, you might think of a power button. You might think of perhaps a remote control that you have to press on in order to enjoy the TV or the iPad or whatever electronic device is in front of you. It doesn't really help though if you have, let's say, this brand new TV and you have this remote in your hand and you just hold it. You actually have to press a button for it to turn on. Well, Paul didn't have electronics way back then. He used an example of a runner racing. Imagine you're at the starting line of a race and all your competitors are lined up beside you. And imagine before the race even starts, you say, okay, just letting you all know, I'm going to claim first prize. I'm not going to actually run. I just really want to have first place, so I'm just going to take it. Well, obviously you're not going to get first place. You actually have to run. You have to press on. You have to put effort in order to get that prize. Now, the example or the reason why Paul is talking about the prize is not for a fancy TV or a trophy. The prize he's talking about is a real deep relationship with Jesus. He's saying in order for us to get the most out of this relationship with Jesus, we have to press on. We have to move forward. We have to put effort into it. I've got two stories about when I was a little bit younger. Well, a lot younger, but that's okay. The first was when I was in elementary school. I was practicing because I was a part of a German poetry contest. And I remember practicing forever about this one poem. And it was a lot of long nights practicing it, just trying to get it right. And wouldn't you know, I won. Now, Germans really know how to do a trophy. This trophy was huge. It was awesome. I was so excited. I practiced and I won and I got this trophy. Super great. Here's another story. This is a little bit later on when I was in high school. I loved playing basketball, and my role on the team was to be the point guard. And that's the person that dribbles up the ball and kind of calls the shots and decides like what plays to run. And I was asked to be part of a special team in the city of Winnipeg, and they had a bunch of smaller teams put together, and I was asked to be a part of this special team. I was so excited. We spent hours of extra practice time, dribbling, practicing the plays, getting to learn these new teammates and how do they work together. And It was really a lot of fun, but a lot of hard work. And wouldn't you know, on that first game, I airballed every shot. For those of you that don't know basketball, airball means it's not that I just like kind of missed. I didn't even hit the rim or the net. I airballed it every time. I was so disappointed. I know I disappointed my coach. I know I disappointed my teammates. And I was really disappointed in myself. I practiced. I put effort in. Why didn't it end up the way I wanted to? So here are two examples of putting effort in. One, working out, getting this awesome German poetry trophy. And the other one, totally embarrassing myself. Like I still just don't like the feeling when I talk about it. Here's the lesson for both of those stories. Sometimes you put effort in and it doesn't quite seem to work out the way you think it should. And sometimes when we're working on our relationship with Jesus, we're doing all the things that we know are important. We're praying and we're reading our Bible and we're memorizing Bible verses and we're doing devotions. And sometimes, though, we still make mistakes. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out the way we had hoped. There may be days where you are being kind to your sibling or your parent, or maybe you were able to bring a smile to a stranger's face by holding open a door for them. And then there's days where maybe you lied a little bit, or maybe you said something you really shouldn't have. Maybe you hurt someone's feelings. That's okay, because Paul's saying to keep pressing on, to move forward so that we can have this real, honest relationship with Jesus. It's not always going to be perfect. In fact, more times than not, it's not going to be. But the great thing is that God is always there. He's there for us. But instead of just saying, yep, God's there and living our life, Paul's saying, let's have a real relationship with Jesus. Let's put effort in. And sometimes it'll work out, and sometimes it'll be hard and disappointing. But at the end of it, you're going to have a real relationship with Jesus. And that's what Jesus wants. He does not want us to be robots that just say, yep, nope, yep, nope. That's boring. That's not why he created us. He wants to feel what we're feeling. He wants to talk with us. He wants to be there for us so that when we do put effort in and it doesn't end out as well as we hoped, he's still there. So my encouragement to you this week is put effort into your relationship with Jesus. If the Apostle Paul, who started the early churches, who was willing to go to jail and do everything for Jesus, is saying that he has to put effort into his relationship, well, I think that's a pretty good example for us to follow. So my encouragement for you is put effort into your relationship with Jesus. Yes, he will always be there. And sometimes that effort's going to go great and sometimes it's not. But the more effort, the more you put into this relationship, the deeper and more meaningful it will be for you. I know that when I have had really hard days, it's my relationship with Jesus that pulls me through. And I'm thankful that I have my Bible and I have you as my church family and I have great music that can help me get through those hard times. But I know that I have to make an effort to show Jesus that I really want this relationship. Be brave in your faith. Take time for Jesus. I promise you, it is time well spent. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and thanks again for spending this time with me. Take care.